Good morning. Today I'll be very brief. I want to speak on the story of state capture. You know, they have been talking about state capture. I had not come face to face with what has been being said as state capture. State capture is real, and the Kenyan institutions, especially state corporations, have been captured by the current regime. They used to say the Uhuru administration has done what they used to call state capture. But the true state capture is being orchestrated by the current government. A case in hand, as I'm speaking here today, LAP Fund does not have the CEO, does not have the chairman. The chairman of the LAP Fund resigned yesterday as the chairman of LAP Fund Board of Trustees. When David Koros left to join National Social Security Fund, as the board, I'm a member of the board. I represent workers on LAP Fund board. I want you to get it very clearly. I'm not on the LAP Fund board courtesy of government. I'm the LAP Fund board courtesy of representing workers and ensuring that the interest of the workers and their money is properly received, invested wisely, and they get their retirement when they retire. What has happened is that when Koros left, we looked at the top management in LAP Fund as a board. We assessed the files that were before us, and we arrived at the conclusion that the best suited person to act as CEO of LAP Fund at this moment, as we wait for recruitment of substantive CEO, was one Galm Jeltesa. We therefore appointed Galm Jeltesa in acting capacity as a board, and immediately that appointment was done, the chair of the board started receiving phone calls from State House, from the office of the Deputy President, and from one Aden Duale, and many other operatives within government, even office of the Treasury. And the direction was, we revoke the appointment of Galma Jaldesa as acting CEO of LAP Fund. And in one of the we have three offices in Kenya: the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the office of the Deputy President, and the office of the President himself. In one of those offices, they are asking Galma Geldesa to give 20 million for him to act as a CEO of LAP Fund. Where can an ordinary public servant like Galma Geldesa get 20 million? And somebody speaks shamelessly that you cannot be given that office and you are not giving us anything. There is true state capture. I have witnessed it. And as a spokesperson of the workers, I want to ask the president, you are my good friend, the fact that we have differed on how you want to implement the policies that we promise the Kenyan people does not mean you have become my enemy. I want to request you to remove your hand from state corporations. Once the state corporation board has been appointed, leave that state corporation board to function as established and exposed in the State Corporation Act, especially Section 5, Clause 3, which gives the boards of state corporations in Kenya to appoint CEOs of those state corporations, and in fact all other employees. Therefore, the state capture of state corporation is not good for this country. If you ask 20 million from a CEO who is acting only maybe for 6 months, and we can decide to advertise and hire a substantive CEO within 3 months, and maybe the one you took 20 million from is not going to be successful, because when we advertise, that position is open to all qualified Kenyans. It's not a preserve of those who are working in LAP Fund today. I therefore want to urge the office of the president, the office of the deputy president, and the Duale, leave state corporations to work independently. The other day you gave a directive, Your Excellency President, saying that if something happens in state corporation, board of directors, the CEO and top management will be held personally accountable. How will we be held personally accountable in LAP Fund when the state, the office of the president, deputy president, and Eden Twale want to decide who will be the CEO of LAP Fund? The board must be left to do its work. I want to assure you, those who are telling the president that Panyako is a parabolic, let me tell you, I became parabolic when I differed with you. And those Kenyans who agree with me, you are telling them they are parabolic. Some of you don't even know what it means. I want to assure Your Excellency that you are my friend and you remain my friend. In my resignation message to the forum of NEC, I said clearly that in 2027, I will still consider supporting the president if it will be tenable then. But for now, it is not tenable. For now, I cannot support the programs of the president, including state capture. You have been preaching that you want institutions to be independent. What are you doing in lab fund? Kashakwa, toa mkono wako lab fund. Wachana na lab fund kabisa. Hiyo ni pesa ya wafanyakazi. Hatutakubali uwe nani kucheza na pesa ya wafanyakazi. Mimi nikiwa niko hai na nikiwa nimepewa nafasi ya kuwakilisha wafanyakazi kwa lab fund, hakuna pesa ya wafanyakazi itaondoka. Na ndio mnataka mchukue hii tena muweke housing levy tena mchukue. Maana housing levy hatujui kama ni merry go round, hatujui kama ni sako, hatujui kama ni benki, hatujui kama ni pension scheme. You just want to get workers money. Hata hiyo pesa ikikatwa na employer leo, employer hajui itaenda wapi. We don't know where the money will go. I want to urge my good friend, Your Excellency William Samuel Ruto, the Deputy President, Honorable Kashakwa, Honorable Duale, leave that fund board of trustees to operate. Right now, the fund is in limbo. No activities can take place in that fund because we don't have a chair. Because the chair resigned. He has been embarrassed. The chair cannot write a letter appointing an acting CEO under the concurrent of the board, and then you force that chair to revoke. And you appoint someone for one day, then you say it has left the following day. What kind of a joke is that? I will say without fear of contradiction, I'm not scared. Mtu akufi kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. When you fix a bullet in my chest, I'll just die instantly. And I will die a hero. I will not die a coward. Those cowards surrounding the president, cheating him that all is well. Very soon you will see the government is falling apart. PS left the other day. Panyako left the other day. Daddy, chair of the board of Lab Fund, left yesterday. It cannot be good when people have started leaving. You cannot be in government less than a year and guys are going away. Something is wrong, Your Excellency. Those psychophants around you are cheating you. Things are not good. And any man and woman of integrity will soon be leaving your government. Because the current type of manipulation that people around you and your office and the office of Deputy President and Eden Twale, how they are manipulating state corporations in this country is unacceptable. If no one is telling you, Your Excellency, I will tell you. Because I don't fear anybody. I only fear God. Mimi siogopi mwanadamu. Kama una bunduki, una polisi, una army, una hata wakora, tuma hao wanimalize. Lakini as long as I have the mouth and as long as I live, I'll be on the right side of history. Thank you. Iko swali?
Bwana Director,
yes.
Who requested for the 20 million?
I have said one of the officers, senior officers, we have 3 officers in this country. Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and I exonerated that one. They are left 2. So one of the 2 officers. And I will say without mincing words, muache corruption. Hii pesa mmechukua yote haitoshi. You still want more money. For what? Mbona sisi tumeridhika na hii kidogo tuko nayo? Kidogo tu. Hata nikichukua loan ya 10,000, milioni 10 ama milioni 1 ama 5 na lipa napata 0 kwa payslip. And I'm comfortable with that I have. Please, toa mikono yenu kwa state corporations.
Would you be comfortable if say the president or the deputy president?
I want to go by what I've said. I will not contradict what I've said and I will not add anything.
Mr. Panyako.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you, you've been very close to the president and
yes.
the Kenya Kwanza administration.
Very true.
But now you're emerging as a fierce critic of this government.
Yes.
It's being argued out there that this fallout with the system came about because you had certain expectations and these were not fulfilled. You had hoped that perhaps this government would give you a job, point you to a senior government position, and that didn't happen, and that's why you are sulking. That's why you're coming out very, very fiercely That's why you're seeing this mud in government. What would you say?
A very good question. And in fact, that is what those who want to say things about me, they will say. You know, even if you differ with your wife, mnakosana na bibi yako usiku, asubuhi kwa barabara unaambia watu huyu bibi yangu alikuwa ananuka. That's why he chased him away. But before, when you are staying with her in the house, you are not saying anything. You say huyu bibi yangu alikuwa namna hii, au bibi anasema huyu bwana hawezi kazi kwa kitanda na amezaa nao watoto 10. Sasa hii watoto alizaa nao 10, hauko naweza kazi. Sasa ndio umekuwa hujui kama mmekosana. It will happen like that. I want to live very clearly. William Ruto is a good friend of mine for many years. He keeps his promise. He offered me to be the PS. I refused. I gave Dr. Peter Nyangala. That was my position. He told me about CS. I refused. I'm too big to be a CS. I'm too big to be a PS. You know some things I don't want to say in public. The truth is I'm too senior than a cabinet secretary. You know, a trade unionist, when a serious trade unionist like myself, you can't be a CS. Wewe unatoka kuwa CEO, unatoka kupewa kazi ya kupewa amri. Na mimi napeana amri kwa ofisi. I have over 30 employees, my friend. Where do I leave my 30 employees to be a PS or a CS? I can employ a CS and pay and remain with change in my pocket. I don't want to be a CS. Mimi nataka honorario tu, kitu tu ya honorario. I did not want any employment.
And what is that?
I'm saying if they were to give me anything, it is honoraria, yani kitu kama ya kukaa. Kama ile niko sahi board. Yes. Si niko board. Hiyo ni honoraria. Yes. But this is courtesy of workers, not government. Yes. Therefore, no. I've not requested for anything. Okay. I'm just trying to tell you, yes. I cannot be a CS, it's a small job. Okay. I cannot be a PS, it's a small job. Okay. I cannot be a CS, it's a small job. Mimi ni mtu mkubwa. You don't hear how Atwoli says. Atwoli says he does not want to be a president. That is true. He earns over 30, his income at 30 million per month. Why do you want to be a president? And you have not gotten that money from politics, so you want to protect it. Like Francis Atwoli has nothing to protect. What I have, I've not gotten from politics. I have nothing to protect. For me, I'm comfortable where I am. My status in the trade union movement is above a CS. So anything below a CS, I cannot go for. So sisi ni watu ambao tunataka tu honorario. Kama vile niko honorario sahi kwa board ya lab fund. Unaona? That's all. Nothing else. Sitaki pesa niko nayo kutosha.
What's your next move? What are you considering?
The next move, we are starting something called Partless People's Movement. Partless People's Movement. Yaani muungano wa watu ambao hawako kwa vyama vyovyote vya kisiasa. Wale wanataka kuhama vyama vyote. Tunataka tupaki, hatuna vyama, maana hii vyama ni watu binafsi. Mimi nikitofautiana na UDA napigiwa simu na rais, ananiambia toka. Hiyo ni chama. Kama nilikosea chama, nimepingana na chama, kuna disciplinary process. Ningeitwa kwa disciplinary, niambie Panyako, you have opposed government parties stand on these issues. We feel you are undermining the party. You must go through a disciplinary process. But if the party leader calls you and tells you leave my party because you are disagreeing with me, is that a political party? A political party must have systems. I should have been subjected to a disciplinary process and expelled from the party. Or and then after the disciplinary process, they ask me, you have two options. We expel you or you resign. But a party leader tells you, leave my party. Is that a political party? There are no political parties in Kenya. Those are individual yellow, in trade union we say yellow trade unions. These are yellow political parties. They have no institution. For example, when Malala was coming, we were just summoned as snake. And we were told Malala is the SG from today. What kind of joke is this? Those are jokes.
But perhaps you should have stood ground and said, look, there's a disciplinary process, there's a hard procedure.
Wewe uishi Kenya, wewe unaishi toka mbinguni.
You're speaking very strongly, Mr. Panyako.
I know you know these things. I know you know these things. But why I called you was about lab fund. You know you'll veer away and you'll not say what I want to say. I want to talk about lab fund and the capture of state corporations.
This is all related, sir. This is all related.
You know political parties in Kenya. They are owned by individuals. That's the truth. I have told you my own example. I did not refuse to subject myself to the disciplinary committee. The disciplinary committee should have called me. They raise a complaint. I appear to them. I put my case on the cross. But because they know I'm right, they can't call me. So they intimidate me. Leave the party. Kwani ni hiyo party nilikuwa nalipwa mshahara? Ama ni nini nilikuwa napewa kwa hiyo chama? In fact, I did a lot to change the feelings of people in Malava on this political party. And that's how we got the vote that we got. But definitely I want us to stick to the agenda of lap fund and state capture.
Thank you. So maybe the last one.
Yes, on lap fund, don't go away. Don't bring politics too much in this, because they will you will end up mixing politics and mambo ya lap fund.
From what you've said,
yes,
you said you are intimidated. So
you see, you are still going to politics.
Did you resign yourself? You make the resignation?
By the way, as we are talking now, I'm still the deputy vice chair UDA in charge of programs. I have not officially resigned. And the reason why I did not tender my resignation yesterday was that Malala went on the Facebook and said, I have never been an official of UDA, and enlisted one Omar Hassan, who is not even a member. Have you seen a legal notice showing Malala is an SG of UDA? Malala is not an SGA. There's no legal notice. Oh, this man we are saying vice chair is not. If Malala is an SGA of UDA, let him bring today in the public any legal notice gazetting him. Maina Veronica is still the SG, legally speaking, of UDA. So I have not resigned because I'm writing to the registrar of political parties to give me an extract of officials of UDA as tomorrow, because the letter will go to the registrar of political parties tomorrow. Then after I get that list, it's when now I'll put in the letter of resignation.